What's going on, everybody? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today I have a really awesome brother here that I want everybody to meet. His name is Lavar Scott. Lavar Scott is a NASCAR driver. He is not a race car driver. He is a NASCAR driver. And you most of y'all, if you're like me, you probably don't know any other NASCAR drivers that look like us. But I saw Lavar at the Daytona 500, and he had a really impressive performance, and he just seems like a great guy. And so I thought I'd bring him in into the space so he can meet everybody. And so I'd like to begin by asking my brother Lavar, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing very good. It means a lot that you have me on the show. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. It's an honor to have you. And so, everybody, as you come in, let's do a quick audio check. Give me a yes in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. I see Kai and Justin. I see you all already in here. Shout out the city you're from. Also, shout out the name of your business. If you have a Black-owned business, you want everybody to know about it. Put your business in there. What city you're from? All that good stuff. So let's jump into the conversation. Okay, so Lavar, I'd like for people to get to know you. So, how old are you? First off.
So I'm just turned 20 in September. Yep.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I think I'm getting pretty old. I feel it.
So you feel old at 20. That's
Yeah.
funny, man. That's hilarious. So LeVar just turned 20, y'all. And I would tell you, man, I had never gone before I met you that day at Daytona. I'd never actually been to a race before.
Really?
My friends Michelle
I
and
didn't know it was
Anthony.
your first one.
Yeah, man, I'd never been. And Michelle and Anthony Martin, who you and I both know at the Urban Youth Racing School in Philly, they brought me down there because they wanted me to have the experience, and it was a crazy experience. And I know the effect that it had on me. And I'd be curious to know with yourself, like, do you remember your first time ever going to a race?
I don't think I remember my first time ever going to a race, but I do remember my first memory out of the racetrack was watching my brother race. He grew up racing like little dirt quarter midgets in Delaware, and I kind of have a memory of like watching him race, and then remember really wanting to do it and try to be like him at that age. But yeah, that's kind of my first memory at the racetrack. But I know I was going to the track ever since I was really born. Watching my mom race the drag cars, my grandpa race the drag cars. So yes, that's pretty much what happened.
Wait, did you say your mother raced drag cars?
Yeah, my mom, she was a drag racer. Yep. She had a Mustang, and because my grandpa kind of started the whole racing family. I don't know where his love and passion came for racing, but he bought a few Mustangs and built some ones, and he built his own junior dragster. So he was the man around town for a while. And my mom started doing it. Actually, my uncles and aunts, they all race, and that's kind of how we kind of got the racing family going.
Really? Okay, so racing
Yeah,
was part of your family culture.
100%, 100%. If it wasn't for my mom and my grandpa, just none of this what I'm doing now would be happening.
Wow. So when you told your family that that's what you wanted to do, did you get like 100% like, go, go, go? Or did you get some people in the family that are like, no, 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 no? Or was everybody 100% supportive of what you were doing?
So I never like even like told my parents or my family that this is what I wanted. It was kind of always just known that this is what we're doing. Like everybody in our family is all racing, so this was like you said, it was definitely 100% go 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 go, and everybody we all went to the racetrack. Me and my brother's racing. Like my mom, she used to race, but she hung her helmet up early, so me and my brother could do it like and been be there fully every single weekend racing. So when we raced, my whole family would show up to the racetrack and they'd help with the cars, and so it was definitely a full family effort.
Wow. Wow. Well, by the way, everybody, I assume you all can hear me. And I'm speaking with Lavar Scott. He's a NASCAR driver and a really cool brother. And by the way, I know a lot of y'all might be wondering if you know, did anybody else see the movie Grease Lightning about Wendell Scott? And did anybody else, when you heard his last name was Scott, did anybody else wonder if Lavar was related to Wendell Scott? I know I did. And you said the answer is
No, sadly, I'm not.
now, did you know the story of Wendell Scott? Like, did you study him when you got
Yeah,
into it?
yeah, it was big. I did all my reports on him, and like for school, like all my biography stuff was definitely on Wendell Scott.
Really? That's so
Yes.
interesting. So it's funny, man. Like, it seems like the way you were introduced to racing and you got into it. A lot of our kids don't even have that experience. Like, we never even know where race car drivers come from. None
Yeah.
of that stuff. Like, do you think that enough is being done generally just by everyone to let a lot of our kids like even know like what's out there, what opportunities might exist?
As of right now, I definitely don't think so. but I think like we're as a racing group and as a maybe a NASCAR group and a diversity program, I think we're all trying different ways to kind of push that narrative and help it. Like tomorrow, I'm going, like you said, with Anthony Martin, going to the Urban Youth Racing School and talking to all those kids about racing and how they kind of progress their careers and futures into the sport. So I don't think as of right now that it's where it should be, but I think we're all definitely trying to close that gap and get there pretty shortly.
Interesting. So let me ask you this, man. So in terms of your background with racing, okay, so you don't remember your first race that you ever went to. You just grew
No,
up
I was
around it
definitely
and saw it.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay, now
definitely one or early or like I don't know, a few months old.
did anybody else in your family race in NASCAR, or are you the first NASCAR driver in your family?
I'm the first one. My brother, it was like he takes racing very seriously, but he does it locally, and he's very good here in our hometown, and he wins a lot of the big races here. So this kind of he likes this. Those of you that we work kind of we have a family business back in New Jersey, and he likes going to the shop every day and working there and racing when he wants to race. So he's very content. So I'm the one that kind of went full head of steam into it and try to become NASCAR.
Really? Okay. So did anybody else in your family like want to participate with NASCAR, or like did they try and it didn't quite work out and then you're the first one to break through, or are you just the first one to say, I think I want to go over here instead of just doing something, similar to what everybody else has done?
Yeah, I think I was the first one that was given the true opportunity to do it, and kind of the first one that really wanted to. Like I said before, my mom, she was a drag racer. My grandpa was a drag racer, so they all like drag racing. They never really wanted to do the oval stuff. And me and my brother loved the oval stuff, but he never wanted to take it super far. I don't believe. And I was the one that kind of, since I was young, I always knew that I wanted to be racing my whole life and kind of make it in a career.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So into a career. Okay. So how long have you been? Now, when I saw you, you were in it was the ARCA series, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long have you been driving in the ARCA series?
So I've raced ARCA Series. This will be my second year coming up. 2023 is my first year. I raced ARCA East, but I got to do additional races like where you see that was Daytona, and I got to do Kansas for ARCA National and Phoenix, and I finished third in the ARCA East Championship. But next year we're going for ARCA National Championship.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell you, man, when I went to the race, I remember just kind of, I'm like a lot of dudes, you see it and you're like getting pumped up, and it's like, man, I'd love to be able to do that, but then you're thinking, no, I really wouldn't want to, because
Yeah,
it seems, I mean, it just, I mean, like in terms of the danger of racing, right? Going that fast and having to have these split second reactions and everything else. What goes through how do you feel? What goes through your mind like when you're driving? Because I'm gonna tell everybody, I want everybody to go look this brother up, because when I saw you at Daytona, like you were like leading like a big chunk of the
yeah,
race, and
yeah.
I was like, okay, I see that car out there. I kept seeing, I think it was number six. Was it number six or number two?
It, number two at that time. At that time.
Number two. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kept seeing number two, number two, number two, number two. And it just, I mean, just what goes through your mind when you're driving that fast? And how fast are you guys going anyway?
Yeah. So at Daytona we're going like 195, 200. But honestly, you don't really feel that like you're going as fast because everybody else around you is going the same speed. So like I try to explain to people, like it feels like if you're going on the highway at 70 miles per hour, like you feel like you're going slow until you stop and you see cars flying by you going that speed. So but you're not really like the only time that I truly like get nervous or like I don't want to say get worried, but just think about it was is kind of before the race, like in stage lane, like when we start the car up and you kind of hear other cars around, you have that engine noise and you're like, I'm really behind the seat of a race car right now, about to go 200 miles per hour. But when you're doing it, like honestly, God has a plan for me, and I just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I just go out there in the best of my ability and all the preparation that I put in weeks prior to that, and I just like to go out there and have fun.
Really? Okay. Okay. So you're going 200 miles an hour, having fun, doing your thing. Um, what would you say is the biggest misconception about life as a race car driver?
The biggest, I guess back in the day, the biggest misconception, well, it's kind of still, but we're kind of working on it, is that it's only for white people and it's not for all
Mm.
of us. It's not NASCAR. It's not a true community for everyone, every in all the race and all genders. But I think we're these past few years we've made great strides and changed that narrative and trying to become for all of us and not just one.
Really? Okay. So when you're out there, and let me ask you, so like for example at Daytona, how many other black drivers were there in the race besides you in that
There
ARCA
was
race?
It was 40 drivers out there, and I was the only one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're kind of like Tiger Woods, like kind of doing the Tiger Woods thing for the most part.
Yeah,
And then,
coming through the ranks. Yeah, because we have one black driver, Bubba Wallace. He's obviously in the Cup Series, and we have another one, Roger Ruth, who's he's in the Truck Series, so he's 1 series ahead of me. So we have some scattered through the series, but none racing full one only one racing full time consistently on at the highest level.
really? Okay. Okay. And the reason I guess I was thinking about Tiger Woods because I guess I keep forgetting you're 20, but about 20 years ago, when Tiger Woods came into golf and he would be in these tournaments and there'd be like 90 people and he'd be the only black dude and he would
Mm,
like dominate everybody.
yeah.
like this dude, yeah. When Tiger was at his peak, man, you gotta look it up. He was breaking records that were like 200 years old.
Wow.
He was a beast. I mean, absolute beast, and it made me proud. Just see
Yep.
this guy go out there and show that level of excellence. So now race car driving is expensive.
Hmm.
It costs a lot. It seems to get in to maintain the car, to pay the team, stuff like that. How expensive is it? Just ballpark in terms of the cost to even get out there.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now, so right now I'm in the NASCAR Drive Diversity program. And right now, it means the world to me, but they fully pay for everything. I get to show up and focus on my driving and just drive the car. But if I wasn't, like, next year, there's a possibility that I might not be in this program because I might age out or have too many years since the program already. But if I wasn't in this program, it would be the series I'm doing now would be $1.5 million or $1.4 million. Yeah, and then next
Wow.
year I want to go full time truck racing, and then it gets up to $3 million. So it's definitely a very very expensive sport. But right now I'm in a program that's kind of taking care of that. But once this program's over with, I kind of have to go out there and find the funding on my own.
Wow. So it seems like the funding, the financial side is kind of the barrier for a lot of people. Like there are a lot of talented people out there that could do it, just the money thing. Is that what it is?
100%. If you don't have the funding, you're definitely not going to be able to do it. Not in this day and age.
Now, how did they discover you? Like, how did that happen? How did you link up with NASCAR?
Yeah, so just from all my success on the dirt side of things, I think in 2019 to 2018, I was winning a good amount of races throughout those years and some big races. And they kind of discovered me through that. Through obviously, I think social media helped a lot. And then they reached out and they asked me to come to a combine in 2019, and I did a combine for them. And I was able to go on a team in 2020. So I started with the like little U.S. Legend cars, like little kind of they're like little like mini, I don't know, old cars built back in the day, but they're pretty cool to drive and they're pretty hard. And then I did that for a year. Then I moved into a late model stock, racing tracks around Hickory and Tri County and Florence for 2 years. And then obviously this year in 2023, I had a chance to go ARCA East racing.
Really? Okay. So one thing that's interesting is I'm gonna tell you, man. I don't know if anybody else can relate to this or not, but let me tell you what happened to me. I was put in a situation where I was really humbled and learned to have a lot of respect for drivers. Like a lot of people, a lot of us have been driving a long time. You're like, what's the big deal? You just put your foot on the gas and you go fast. I've been driving a long time. I can figure it out. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, man, I did Michelle and Anthony have at the Urban Youth Racing School, they have a Grand Prix every year where you get in these little go-karts and you fly around, and they invited me to participate. So I was driving against some guys whose names I assume Kyle Larson was there.
Yep. Yep.
I think Russ Chastain. I think that's his name,
Yep.
Ross Chastain. Yeah, and a few other drivers like
Yeah.
that, right? So, dude, I was absolutely floored by the level of talent and precision that drivers have. I mean,
Yeah.
it blew my mind. I was like, how in the hell do you go around the curve that fast and not spin out and fly off the track? And because I'm a competitor, right?
Yeah.
I'm good at what I do over here. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. No, it didn't work out. So let me ask you this. Tell me about that journey for you when it came to, getting good enough to compete at the highest levels. Like, what does that training regimen look like, for someone
Yeah.
who wants to be a professional driver?
Yeah. So we train every single day from 7:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock. We're at the shop. I'm at the shop doing something to be a better race car driver. So I kind of get to the shop around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we have a workouts in the morning, which take about an hour and a half. And then what you're supposed to do after that is we have like this mental training board, what kind of helps with your reflexes and your mental training. And I've been slacking on that thing for a little bit, but I know this year coming up, I'm definitely going to be back on that for a long time and making sure my mental and reflexes are ready to be top notch. And after that, then we have like a big sim room where we have 4 simulators where you can kind of practice your driving and just practice wherever. If I'm going to Phoenix or anywhere Iowa, I can kind of practice out in the simulator and make sure I'm dialed in before I head to the track. So if you do those things consistently, you should start getting better.
Well, everybody, if you just came in, I'm talking to Lavar Scott. He is a NASCAR driver. He's a young brother. He's 20 years old. He's super good at what he does. If everybody watching could please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and also, he's looking to do business. This driving thing costs money. And I want everybody to know, and Anthony Martin and Michelle Martin, I'm going to have them on to talk about this. I don't know if everybody knows, we used to have an all-black racing league at one point. We had a black version of NASCAR called the Golden Glory Sweepstakes, where we owned the whole league. It was our thing. And you had these drivers that would go all around the country. The stadiums would be filled up with all these fans. All these businesses were built off of this. And so Lavar inspires me because he kind of represents that level of excellence that we've always had. And what I'm going to do, everybody, is in the event that you want to connect and help sponsor some of what Lavar is doing, I'm going to literally put his email address right up here. And so just so you know, Lavar, you might get a bunch of emails. So I don't know any other way to do it.
Everything helps.
Is that cool?
Helps.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay, perfect. And I'm also put his Instagram up. So I hope everybody will at least follow him on Instagram and support the brother. So let's talk about those trophies behind your head. That's a lot of trophies, man.
Yeah.
Like what are those? Like, where did those come from?
Yeah. So let me look. So yeah, this one was a big one that my brother won a few weeks ago. I won this one, I think 2019, back when I was winning a lot of dirt races. And then we have another one over there, which I went to Mexico and raced, truck series race and won that one. And then all these ones are from quarter midget stuff growing up and kind of the stuff that we just accumulated over the years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so your brother what's your brother's name, if I may ask?
Wayne Scott.
Wayne Scott. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much older than you is he?
He's 22. Yeah.
So you don't even have to tell me. I bet y'all are super competitive.
We are very competitive, but like, yeah, we're very competitive. We're also like we race each other probably the cleanest that we race anyone. So because obviously he's my brother, so if I'm finishing first, I want to do everything I can to make sure he finishes second. So we're competitive and we obviously want to beat each other, but we got to make sure that we help each other get the best results for the night.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. And there's no, I mean, is there really like a form of teamwork in driving at all, or like what are the odds of you and your brother being on the same team and helping each other out and stuff like that? Is that doable or?
Yeah, I think there's more of a teamwork off the track. We obviously help each other with setups, help each other with make sure our cars are ready to go. Just we have that family atmosphere at the track every week. I think that kind of helps our mental state of getting ready and just going out to have fun. But when you're out on the track, it's kind of hard to help each other because, I'm focused on me, make sure I can get to the front. He's focused on him. But when he's around me, I make sure I'm extra clean, extra cautious with my moves.
Wow. Okay. That's really cool. So let me ask this then. One thing I remember when you and I were talking at the Daytona 500, I remember you seemed really intense about like I got the sense. Tell me where I'm wrong or just help me on this. Mm-hmm. When you and I were talking, I got this sense that like I was proud. I thought you did great. It didn't seem to me like you were as happy with the outcome as I was. Like maybe it wasn't quite what you were looking for. Is that accurate or?
Yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, looking back at it, like it was an amazing finish. It was awesome. It was probably better than what we all expected was going to happen. I mean, it was fourth place at Daytona for my first time ever there. It's pretty surreal. But I remember at the moment, it's kind of like when you're leading with like 4 laps to go, 5 laps to go, and it's like, wow, I can win this thing. And I don't want to say it gets taken away from me, but you don't end up winning. It kind of sucks for a little bit. It hurts because, like, man, like, imagine me out there doing donuts right now. Imagine all this stuff that would be happening if I got this race win. But looking back at it, like in the grand scheme of things, it was honestly awesome racing. It was a great finish. Just at the time, like a competitor, as you say, like you always want to win, and when you have that close to winning, it gets taken from you. It kind of sucks. But I talked to people about it, and the way I looked at it after that race is like, at the end of the day, I have my team, but I'm the driver, so everybody's gonna look at what I'm doing and how I'm acting. So my team works really, really hard to get the car ready. So if I get out the car and I'm upset, all the guys that put in the hard work for us to have a good finish, they're gonna be like, wow, why is the war upset? Like we got fourth, like we brought him a good car. Why is he upset? So I kind of had to make sure that I stayed happy and stayed positive. But when I got back on myself, it was kind of like, darn, like what if I'd have won that race? What if I'd have got that win?
So that kind of drives you, huh? Like you really
100%.
you want to be like up there with the best.
Yeah, I want to dominate every race I'm in.
Okay, so let me ask you this. And by the way, everybody, Lavar Scott, his Instagram is on here on the screen. Everybody, write that down. Go follow him on Instagram. I want you to consciously do that. We got to support each other. Also, I'm going to put his email address up. If any of y'all, I know some of y'all have money and stuff like that. I think there are ways to help in terms of sponsorship, especially if you have a business or something. There's options out there. So I'll share his email address in a second. So let me ask you this. So then, well, let's start here. I had two questions actually. I'll ask the first one so I don't say too much at once. If you had all the money that you needed, like if you had $10 million in the bank and you suddenly had everything you needed to go and get the car you wanted and everything else, and now let me ask you, would that get you it? Like, would you be driving with the Kyle Larsons and the Ross Chastains and stuff like that? Is money kind of the only barrier, or is there like some performance metric that has to be met before you can get on the track with those guys? How's that work?
I would say personally, there's a performance metric. I want to make sure that I'm fully ready and prepared and have the experience to go race with those guys. But truly, to be honest with you, money is the mostly the only barrier that's keeping me from here to them. So like you said, like if I had $10 million, I know this year I'll do ARCA, the next year I want to do trucks, and the year after that I want to go Xfinity racing. Then obviously within a year or two being or a year or two after Xfinity racing being a cup car. So ultimately that money is the only barrier, but personally I want to make sure that I have the years on my belt and the full experience to make that jump.
Are the other drivers at the sort of the main NASCAR drivers, are they that much older than you? Are most of them in their 20s, or how old are they?
So the years are actually starting to go down some. Like there was a driver, I think he's 21 or 22. He was running trucks for 2 years full time, and then he just signed a contract to go full time cup racing. I think he's 22. And then Ty Gibbs, who's actually Joe Gibbs' grandson, I think he's 20 or 21, and he's full time cup racing. But obviously, with being Joe Gibbs' son, and Joe Gibbs is a top team owner, he obviously has the funding and the resources to make that jump pretty quickly. But cup guys, I mean, a lot of the cup drivers are like in their 30s or late 20s. But I think for my age, I'd definitely be somewhere close to a truck or Xfinity ride in the near future.
Okay. So, I because I was trying to figure it out and understand just like how the hierarchy works and how much of it is about money, how much of it is about performance and talent and stuff like that. So I guess I'd ask the last question then. If you were kind of to lay out, I could tell you were ambitious and competitive and probably pretty brave. Like just to be a race car driver, I think that takes a lot of courage, right? A lot of people. I know if I told my wife I wanted to do something like that, she would. I'd be dead because she would just kill me. She'd be like, "I'm not gonna let the car kill you. I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
So so as a competitive guy that's 20 years old, and you got all these years ahead of you where you're going to succeed and just be successful in so many things. What are some of your dreams and goals? Like, what are the things that kind of drive you to get up and perform every day?
Well, to be honest, my short term goal is to definitely win a ARCA championship in 2024. I mean, that's something that I've been really wanting for the past 5 years. Every time when I started racing US Legend cars, I'd walk in the shop and I would see the ARCA cars. And I want my name on the banner for the championships. I want to see my name on the banners for the wins. That's my short term goal. And long term goal is obviously be able to be in the Cup Series one day and support my family and get back to my hometown community. Because I have I don't know why or how, but I have a real true fan base in my hometown community, and it means a lot. So I want to do whatever I can when I have the funding and the resources to give back to them.
Let me ask you this question: How if somebody asked you a weird question like "How black are you?" What would you say? Like how because seriously, like you don't know.
No,
it's
a question.
If you meet another black person, you don't know if they're scared to be black or if they're really like how does that play into your mind in terms of what being black really means to you? I'm just curious. So people, please.
Honestly, I come to my hometown to find out and see how things are kind of done around here. It's pretty. When people come, like one time my coach came to my hometown and rode by, and he was shocked that I grew up here. So that's kind of why I mainly want to give back and kind of change that narrative of my hometown, and I don't like how people view it.
Wait, tell me about your hometown.
It's not the I know years ago my mom was growing up, there was a bunch of black owned businesses here, and like when my mom said, she says the place was booming. She said there was a lot of stores here, and people would come here and shop. But nowadays it's not like that no more. And from what I see, there's not that much just real community fans and not fans, kids going outside and having fun anymore. It's just nobody wants to go out and do nothing. I kind of want to change that and build like a rec house or something where kids can come outside and go have fun and be free.
Okay, so driving means more to you than just you. You're thinking about
100%.
the whole community. You're thinking about all the people back home and stuff like that.
100%.
Yeah, I respect it. I think that's cool. And I was curious. I had to ask that question just because like we're black 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and don't apologize to nobody for it. But
100%.
you have some people that are a little nervous, and you just never know. Some people feel like you have to be less black to get certain opportunities, but I don't think being black is a liability. I think it's an asset.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell everybody really quick too. Lavar's email address is right here on the screen. For those who listening on Spotify, the email address is lavar1934@gmail.com. Lavar1934@gmail.com. If you or your company or anybody has resources to support this young brother as he gets out here and does his thing, I hope you will email him and make the connection, because I know personally I'm gonna write some checks to support. I just want to say that publicly. The checks, I can't write them as big as I want, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna support you, because
Thank you so
I
much.
met him, and I was, because my process was, I saw you perform. I could tell you were excellent at what you did. Then when I met you, you meet people, you're just like, okay, hey, how you doing? You're just feeling people out, right? And I'll be honest, like if you were like some arrogant prick or something, I'd probably be like, have a nice day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell everybody, like he was cool, like solid, down to earth, smart, and driven. Like I can tell driven people when I could tell you had something that you wanted, and I respect guys that just want something, man. And then we talked on the phone, and I have a lot of respect for you, man. And so everybody listening, please look Lavar up. He's the driver that we're going to adopt. I know there's other drivers out there, but he's the one I met first. And I really think that our people should be heavily involved in all the sports that we want to excel in. Like I think that we're just good at whatever we choose to do. And when I tell you all that he's talented, I hope everyone will believe me. So I'm going to repeat his email address, and I'll let you get the last word, brother. The email address, for those who can't see it on the screen, is lavar1934@gmail.com. That's lavar1934@gmail.com. If you want to reach out for sponsorship or something like that, his Instagram is lavar.scott34, lavar.scott34. And let me ask you this: what does 1934 mean? Does that mean anything? Does that have a significance?
So 19 was my favorite number, and then 34 is actually Wendell Scott's number. So I just put the two together. And, yeah, nice. 1934. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love it, man.
I think all of my dirt cars for the past, 9 years have been 34 because of Wendell Scott. And then when I raced late models rev racing, I asked to have number 34 because of him. So, yeah.
That's what's up. I love that. I love that. Did you have any final words you want to share before you bounce out?
No, I truly just want to say thank you, and thank you to everybody that's viewing and listening to my story. It really does mean a lot.
Yeah. Well, this won't be the last time, and I hope everybody will Google Lavar and take a look at what he's doing. Follow him on Instagram, people. Give me a yes in the chat if you're going to follow him on Instagram. And I'm going to be in there, and I'm going to be checking out what you're doing, man, cheering you on, because I know it's tough, and I respect your bravery getting out there and doing your thing, and I also respect your commitment to excellence. So thank you very much for coming in, man. It's great talking to you again, brother.
Thank you so much, Dr. Boyce.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, have a good night, and we will adjourn for tonight, and I'll check back in with you guys a little bit later. Don't forget, this podcast is on Spotify. Just look up my name, Boyce Watkins, and I'll check it back in with you guys soon. Take care. Have a good night. Peace.